Yeah, we got Everton gets the away win 2-1 at Southampton, and boy did we need it. Been speaking all week with my wife and saying, "Oh man, if we lose this one, Silva might be gone." And uh, it was a little bit of drama in this one, but just really excited to see Everton finally get an away win. And I felt like the team selection wasn't far off the mark. I mean, maybe Moise Kean should have been in over Gordon, but been hearing a lot about Anthony Gordon, so I'm not surprised that he got a shot in the team from the bench. Uh, Seeing Snyderlin and Sigurdsson didn't inspire me a great deal, but they weren't terrible today. I mean, Sigurdsson looked like he was. I mean, he's always seems like he's ready to run around and put in a shift, but today he seemed a lot more energetic in the midfield. He wasn't as sluggish as sometimes he can be. He didn't sort of seem like he didn't disappear. He was actually linking up the play a little bit today, which was kind of surprising to me. But just glad. I mean, that first goal from Tom Davies was cool. It was a sweet. I think it was a header or a corner kick that came in, and Holgate headed it over to the back post, and Tom Davies just slotted it in. It was really good to see Tom Davies get that goal. Given that, as an Everton fan, always has been a little bit weird. Like, why isn't he playing more? It seemed like this season he would get more features, even though we did buy some midfield players. You still felt like it shouldn't necessarily put Tom Davies down, but given all the injuries and everything, he's definitely getting his run in the team, and he's showing why he needs to be in the team more consistently. And he actually, as far as his play today, it was awesome. It's like he what I'm seeing out of him is he's making the quick pass. He's not just sitting on the ball thinking, "Oh, I don't know where I'm going to go with it." It's like he's already picked out his pass before the ball gets to him, and it's off. And a lot today, it seemed like he was hitting that right pass. They're playing those little 1-2s in a triangle around the defender, and it's never him that makes that play break down. And he's also was making a lot of forward passes, which was good to see. And for him to get the goal again was awesome. My wife's favorite Everton player is Tom Davies, so she'll be happy too. And what else? 1-0. I mean, that first half, it was 1-0 Everton and Southampton, man. I kind of like we don't have good luck down there. I've not seen us win too much since Lukaku left in at St. Mary's, but I kind of felt like they came off of that 9-0 loss from City, and even though they played not City, from Leicester, and even though they had to play City 2 more times since then, this was their first home game since that 9-0 loss, and I felt like, oh, they're gonna come out of the gate, and I just really had a bad feeling about this game. Like, I felt like we'd probably lose, at best draw, but that first goal from Tom Davies, that is exactly what the doctor ordered, and it sapped all the energy out of that stadium. And Southampton didn't look like they had much. I mean, they looked as bad as anybody we've played against this season. Especially their back four defensive setup they have. We were cutting through them easily with not, like, I mean, it was Richarlison and Walcott, so that's not necessarily easy to deal with, bombing down your sides. So I don't know. We had a lot of chances. You could argue we could have scored more in that first half, but it was 1-0, and even though it was only one, I felt comfortable seeing how bad Southampton was. It just looked like they were so inept. Like, they didn't really have anybody to hurt us. They kept trying to play the ball long to Danny Ings, and you're hoping, you can just get the ball through if you're Southampton. But Holgate looked awesome. He was clearing things up, mopping up any little mess. Mina was heading everything away, coming long. Uh, we just looked really confident that first half, and it ended, 1-0. Southampton made a change. I don't know who that guy was, but they made a change right at Bowfoul, something like that. And they came out the second half, and you could tell they had a little jump in their step. They just were playing with a lot more urgency, and you could sort of feel that Everton was struggling to get settled in the beginning of that second half, and it ended up with Southampton getting a corner, and eventually they scored off of a play in. I think it was Snyderland was playing against their right winger or somebody on the right, and that guy just ran around Snyderland into the box, and he side passed it or centered it to the middle of the penalty box, and I don't know. It was actually closer to the back post, and Ings ends up scoring 1-1. And so from then on, you kind of feel as an Everton fan like, oh man, here we go. The game's getting away from us. And at that point, I was like, even before that goal, I was like, the pressure's increasing. Southampton's getting in. We need to sort of slow this game down a little bit. And I wish Silva would have made the changes sooner. But he did make the changes. He made he brought in Calvert-Lewin. I think he took Tosun off, and he brought in Calvert-Lewin and Iwobi. I can't remember who Iwobi came in for, but it definitely, I don't see that. I think Iwobi helped settle in the midfield as far as being able to actually get back on the front foot, and Calvert-Lewin, just his legs and energy was good for, the tired legs that were out there. Having to keep up with him was not necessarily something I'm sure Southampton's looking forward to. But we ended up getting a little bit more of the ball, and man, as joyous as I was for this second goal, I can't remember how it got to Richarlison, but somebody played a pass to Richarlison while we're on a break, more or less, and he goes in. I actually think it was a cross, maybe. Maybe it was a corner kick or something. Nevertheless, the ball gets over to Richarlison, and he lasers it in, and we're up 2-1, and just joy. 75 minutes into the game, got about 15 minutes left. Can Everton see it out? They end up doing it. A lot of nervous moments there. I mean, it felt like Southampton was, again, trying to up the tempo and get back in it. But Silva brought Michael Keane on eventually, and so we got 3 at the back, and just trying to, solidify the defense a little bit, which kind of makes me nervous just because, how often do we practice that formation, but whatever. It didn't matter in the end. We held on to get a 2-1 victory, first away win in I don't know how long, and a little bit of pressure, hopefully a lot of pressure off of Silva. We're not so close to the bottom 3 anymore. Southampton, I think, probably takes our spot in being down. Oh, they were already down there, I think. So we needed this win pretty badly, and I'm glad we got it. I'm glad we get to go on an international break on a high note. Next game will be against Norwich City, who is also struggling, and Watford beat them yesterday 2-0. And Watford was terrible when we played them last, so hopefully we can get a win against Norwich. I don't think we'll have anybody significant back. Maybe Delph, because I know maybe Gomez. No, not Gomez. Maybe Bernard could be back, and that'll be a boost. Give us a little bit more options. But just looking over the squad today, I mean, there really weren't too many weaknesses. Everybody was on their game. I wasn't really upset at anybody's play. I mean, you kind of have to be kind of have to expect that we're not automatic in the final third. We're just not one of those teams where when you get a chance, you're going to score. So there was a lot of, oh, Richarlison should have made this play, or, man, if he would have taken the shot at this point instead of trying to switch over, oh, if Walcott would have just, all of that. That's going to always be a theme with Everton. But other than that, nobody really had a horrible game. There weren't really a lot of mistakes to my amateur eye. So, glad to get the 3 points. Glad to get some pressure off of Silva. I didn't want to see Silva sacked, despite him not probably being he may not be. I don't think this means he's the best coach Everton. I don't think he's the best coach in the Premier League or anything. But given the different and ever-changing circumstances he's had to deal with all season, I just wasn't comfortable that it was all on him. But a lot of times, despite the circumstances, despite whose fault it really is, it does fall on the manager. So I wouldn't have been surprised to see him go if we'd lost today. But glad we don't have to think about that. Hopefully, assuming the board and the upper brass, the top brass, haven't already decided they were going to fire him, which didn't seem. As long as he's getting wins, right? Why would you fire a guy? So anyway, but you can argue he's not really getting wins. He's just not got one, but it's a big one. So just glad to end or to start the weekend on a positive note. Hope City can smack Liverpool around tomorrow and up the Toffees.